Well, Charlie, you're a sports guy. We know that you're a big sports fan. You like magic?
I like magic, I like sports, and it sounds like we might have a little bit of a combination of the two things here.
It's the show for you. We've got the magic of Jack Schwartz joining us here on the CoastLife couch. We are so excited for this. So first, let's dive into the details of your show, because it does kind of marry sports and magic. How do you do that?
Yeah, so the show is the world's only magic show for sports fans. And as a kid growing up in Philly, I grew up not really into sports. Like, look, nobody gets into magic because they're freakishly good at sports. Like, that's not how that works. So I was never the superstar athlete. But as I grew up, especially in a town like Philly, you learn to love sports.
Yes.
And then I went to Penn State. A little bit more Kool-Aid, as they say, right? And so I just love sports. Then after college, I was fortunate to do 3 tours with the Savannah Bananas, where I learned a whole bunch about baseball and obviously what they're doing over there as well. And I just love the pageantry. I love the camaraderie. I love how it brings people together. And I kind of had this epiphany moment of like, this is what magic is. Like, it's not a challenge of magician versus audience. Magic is a sports game. It's something to root for. It's a storyline, and that's why I created the world's only magic show for sports fans.
I love that. So we now know where the sports came from.
Yes.
Where did the love of magic begin?
Well, so I started when I was 2. I was a picky eater as a little kid, and so my parents used to ask me to make my food disappear. A lot of people don't believe this is real. This is all too real. My family knows, and so they'd ask me to make my food disappear, and that would get me to eat as a little kid, and I literally fell in love with it from there. So as a toddler, like, everybody knew when you came over to the Schwartz household, like, you were getting a show of one form or another. So I was, while all my friends and everyone else was, you know, doing bikes or video games or stuff like that, I was duct taping my bed sheets to the ceiling to make curtains. I was using my sister as an assistant.
Cutting her in half or not.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Whatever I could do, I was doing ever since I grew up. And I decided I wanted to give my life to this at 10. I started my business at 15, and here we are 11 years later.
Now, I want to get into some of the stuff you're going to be doing in your show in a minute.
Yeah.
But first, you touched on it a little bit briefly there, the Savannah Bananas. I don't know if any group in the country is hotter than that is right now. So what were you doing with them? You know, how did you play a role there?
So with the Bananas, I was a part of their pre-show outside before gates open. I was a part of the pre-show after gates open before the game started. I was a part of on the dugout. I was on the broadcast. I was in the stands, in the suites, and on the field, literally doing magic at first base while the game was going on. It was really, really fun.
Well, hopefully the check's clear, because it sounds like you did a lot of work.
I'm still waiting on a few.
Well, like we said, you've got 2 shows coming up locally. So folks who are listening to this now, and they're like, this guy sounds awesome. How can we see him? Tell us about the upcoming shows, what people can expect, and where they're going to be.
Yeah, so in keeping with what I mentioned with the Bananas, like, one of the biggest things I learned from them is coming up with new stuff, always putting the fans first, and trying to be different and be yourself. And that's what I've really been able to do with this show, because I myself am a sports fan. So I've had the Philly Fanatic pie me in the face and crash my show in Philly. I've had a 3-piece band walk me out the 7 Nation Army before my show. I had a Stanley Cup parade in the middle of my show. And we've got a lot of fun stuff just like that planned for Milford, stuff you've never seen before at a magic show. I kind of say this is the only magic show on the planet with playoff energy. And so the first show is sold out in Milford. The second show only has a few seats left, like less than 20. So if you want to come out and see some stuff you've never seen before, scream really loud, have some fun, cheer, come together, and of course see some impossible stuff along the way, jacobspades.com/tickets is the place to do it.
Well, we can't wait to see what you're going to show us here in a minute. A couple things for everybody at home. First, if you're thinking about it, only about 20 tickets left. You might want to go right now as we're talking about it and get those. 2, we're going to see some of exactly what you can do here in this next segment when we come back. So Jake, you sit on the couch. We're going to be on the couch. Everybody at home, stay on the couch. We'll be right back.